This code sample starts with a script element that refers the Dojo library. Here, this specific attribute specifies that we want to use Dojo modules in asynchronous way. Over here, we have a style element that specifies the CSS class alt with the style definition for color. The color would be red. And over here we have an unordered list element marked with the ID countries. Now, here in this script element, we first require these three modules. Once the three modules are loaded, this function is invoked, and the references for the three objects that represent these modules are passed over to this function. This anonymous function we pass over as the second argument to the require function. Now, query parameter is assigned with a reference for the object that represents Dojo jQuery module. It is an object which is actually a function we can invoke. There are many things we can do with this module. For example, we can pass over a string as this one, meaning that we want the query function to return an array of objects, DOM objects that represent all elements with the ID countries. So referring this way to the first object in that array, we actually get OB assigned with a reference for the object that represents this specific unordered list element. So if we try to execute this code sample and debug, we can see that OB is assigned with the reference for the object that represents the UL element with the ID countries. Now, over here, I invoke the function add on the object that its reference was passed over to the DOM class parameter. It is the object that represents the Dojo DOM class module. Calling add, we can actually specify that we want the auth CSS class that was defined over here to be added to those CSS classes that apply to the element that OB holds the reference for the object that represents it. So since OB is assigned with the reference for the object that represents this element, we can say that this specific line will apply this CSS class on this unordered element, and as you can see, the texts become red.